Hello everyone, and welcome to this highly crucial explainer from Rungta IAS Academy. Today, we're diving deep into the latest Sample Registration Survey, or the SRS 2024 Bulletin. And let me tell you straight away, this document, it's an absolute goldmine for your GS Paper 1 Society syllabus.
Absolutely right, sir. You see, when we're talking about demographic transition in India, the UPSC examiner isn't looking for vague textbook statements. No. They want hard, recent, and highly analytical data. And that is exactly what we're going to master in this short explainer today.
So, here's our analytical framework. We'll start with GS1, demographic transition, move on to decoding the national averages, tackle the rural-urban divide, examine state-level disparities, and finally, look at how to use this for the UPSC mains and interview.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, GS1 demographic transition. Now, India is currently in the crucial throes of shifting from high birth and death rates to much lower ones. And before we look at the numbers, we have to define the natural growth rate, or NGR. It's simply the population growth rate driven purely by births and deaths. It entirely excludes migration, and it's expressed as a percentage. Aspirants, you really must use this precise definition in your answers because it's the absolute core indicator of demographic transition.
Moving right along to Section 2, decoding the national averages.
So, looking at the big picture, we see a very credible overall performance over the last decade, from 2014 to 2024. India's birth rate, death rate, and infant mortality rate have all steadily fallen. What does this tell us? Well, it clearly indicates that the various healthcare measures launched by both the center and the states are actually yielding real positive outcomes on the ground.
Exactly. And please, note down these exact data points for your mains answers. Between 2014 and 2024, the national birth rate fell from 21 down to 18.3. The death rate saw just a marginal dip, going from 6.7 to 6.4, but look at that crucial metric, the infant mortality rate. We're talking about a massive 15-point drop, coming down from 39 to 24. Honestly, that is a phenomenal national achievement.
Back with T1, let's shift gears to Section 3, the rural-urban divide.
Now, as critical analysts, we know that macro data often hides vast spatial gaps, and the disappointment here really lies in the rural sector. Sure, the rural birth rate fell from 22.7 to 20.2, but the urban areas showed a much sharper decadal drop, plummeting from 17.4 down to 14.7. So this relative rural lag is actually dragging our national averages down quite substantially.
We see a very similar story with the infant mortality rate. Yes, rural areas did see a larger absolute drop of 16 points, coming down from 43 to 27. Meanwhile, urban areas dropped from 26 to 17. But here is the critical point you need to highlight for the examiner. A rural IMR of 27 is still far, far away from our national target of reducing IMR to single digits. The gap remains vast, to say the least.
Which brings us to Section 4, state-level disparities. You know, it's not just a rural-urban divide. The regional divides are equally stark. Just look at this number, 8. That is Kerala's infant mortality rate. A single-digit IMR, literally the lowest in the entire country. It serves as a shining model of equitable growth and resource deployment. This is a data point you absolutely must cite in your papers. For sure, and aspirants, to fetch those extra half marks that make all the difference, memorize these top performers. Kerala leads the pack with the lowest natural growth rate of 3.9 and an IMR of 8. Tamil Nadu is right behind them among the larger states with an NGR of 4.8 and an IMR of 11. Now, looking at the smaller states, Goa boasts a 4.2 NGR and an 11 IMR. And for the Union Territories, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands show the way with a 4.1 NGR and a brilliant single-digit IMR of 9.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 5, UPSC Mains and Interview. Bringing it all together, we want to leave you with a highly realistic mock interview question to ponder right now. Think about this. While India shows creditable performance in macro demographic transition, how do vast rural-urban gaps and uneven statewide progress challenge our demographic dividend? When you practice this, make sure to use that exact 15-point national IMR drop, the rural drag we discussed, and Kerala's stellar performance to frame a really structured, analytical answer. Keep studying smart aspirants, and we'll see you in the next explainer.